Japan is a country where order borders on strictness, safety borders on loneliness, and care for people comes with almost no right to weakness. Today I will show you what everyday life in Tokyo really looks like through the eyes of a foreigner, without tourist routes and beautiful legends. Why children go to school alone from elementary grades, why adults work standing all day, and why strange rules are treated as normal. Japan is incredibly well thought out, and at the same time one of the most contradictory countries in the world. In this video, you will see not only daily routines and habits, but also unexpected places hidden right on the streets of Tokyo, the ones tourists rarely hear about. If you want to understand why Japan both fascinates and creates an inner discomfort, stay with me until the end. And before you continue watching, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video. Japan is a country of contradictions, and you notice them literally at every step. For example, the environment for children. On one hand, Japan is incredibly well designed in terms of safety. It is hard to think of many countries where children can feel this calm and protected. Even elementary school kids go to school alone, without parents, ride the subway, come back home in the evening, and it is considered completely normal. So many things are created specifically for children's safety. Crosswalks, road signs, special flags that school kids carry when they cross the street. They hold them up so drivers can see them from far away. You can even meet volunteers helping children cross the road. There are so many small details like this. I saw a sign for drivers warning that first-grade students might run across the street here, shown by a little yellow hat on the picture. But there is another side. Even in Tokyo, there are very few spaces for children. For example, in a shopping mall, I saw a kids zone that was literally just soft mats where you can sit with your child. That is it. No toys, no entertainment. Cafes usually do not have kids' playrooms where parents could meet while their child is busy playing. Places where you can celebrate a child's birthday are also not easy to find. I think one of the most unusual and interesting places for any tourist in Japan is supermarkets and convenience stores. There are so many strange and unfamiliar things that every time you discover something new. For example, in the wine section of a supermarket there might be a tablet. It shows all the wines available in that store. Even if you do not understand wine at all, it becomes much easier to choose. It immediately tells you whether it is red or white, dry or sweet, where it is from, and what food or fruit it pairs well with. We walked into a supermarket and there is a huge selection of onigiri, different kinds, and now they even have new ones with bacon. I wanted to joke that it is onigiri with salo, which is basically cured pork fat. They also sell chestnuts here. Look at that. 734 yen. By the way, near supermarkets there are often small stands selling vegetables or fruits. Look at this line of people with baskets waiting to buy them. But besides the products themselves, there are other surprises. In Japan, almost all store employees spend the whole day on their feet. This is what a cashier's workplace looks like in a supermarket. There are simply no chairs. It is believed that an employee should always look attentive, focused, and ready to help. Working while standing is seen as part of service and professionalism. What do you think? Does that make sense or not? Look at this cool thing. I'm in the subway, somewhere around Kagama station. There is a small refrigerator here. You scan a QR code and, as I understand, farm products can be delivered here. You pay and pick them up. Or maybe you need to pay in advance, I am not sure. Another thing that quickly becomes part of your daily routine in Japan is strict garbage sorting. For some people, this is one of the biggest advantages of Japan, and for others, it is something that seriously complicates life. Look. In our building entrance, someone is throwing away a refrigerator and a washing machine. They buy a special sticker, put it on top, because this is paid disposal, leave it there, and it says that on the 4th they will take it away. By the way, sometimes someone might take it before that, if it still works. We also saw a container near a store, specifically for plastic bottle caps. And now I want to show you what your ordinary days or weekends could look like if you lived in Tokyo. Believe me, there are so many great places that you find some of them just by walking down a nearby street. Some you can visit spontaneously and others need to be booked in advance. In the Harajuku area, we passed a very cute mini pig cafe. And not just a regular one, but in a Minecraft style. In general, animal cafes cafes are very popular in Japan. We have been to mini pig cafes several times, and every time the kids were absolutely thrilled. Have you ever been to an animal cafe? If yes, which animals and where? Write in the comments. Speaking of Minecraft, in Yokohama we visited an entire store fully dedicated to this game. There is a huge amount of merchandise, toys, accessories, souvenirs, everything in Minecraft style. Even if you are not a fan, it is still interesting to see how big and detailed everything is. In the same Harajuku area we found a very cute anime store. Small, but there's so much to take in, you don't know where to look first. Figures, merchandise, stationery, posters, so many little things you want to look at and of course buy. We walked into a regular store and there is a customer feedback book. Look how beautifully Japanese people draw here. They write comments and draw pictures. I once saw a Japanese man drawing something like this, just quickly and beautifully in a few strokes. Maybe because of kanji they are also used to drawing beautifully. It feels like everyone can draw anime here. Of course, this is far from the only store like this in Tokyo. In Akihabara, for example, anime stores are literally everywhere. So, anime lovers, Japan is waiting for you. And right at the entrance of this store, there is a vending machine with drinks designed in anime style. It looks very Japanese. We were walking in Harajuku and saw a place called Lobster. We decided to try it and see if it is tasty or not. It looks very appetizing. It is like a hot dog with lobster. It is really very tasty with garlic and some spices. The only thing is that the lobster itself is very cold and the bun is hot. It feels a bit strange, but still delicious. I would just warm the lobster slightly. Write in the comments if you have ever tried a lobster hot dog or tell me about the most unusual dishes you have tried. Sometimes Tokyo surprises you completely spontaneously. You can just walk around and suddenly end up at a free concert, like it happened to us in Ikebukuro. We were on our way somewhere and suddenly saw a stage where a girl group was performing. Bright, cute outfits, live music, dancing, fans in front of the stage, a festive atmosphere. After them, there was also a group of guys performing. We did not plan to stop, but we stayed for a while, watched, caught that moment, and realized that these random events are what make life in Tokyo special. You never know what you will run into just by walking around. There is an incredible Harry Potter museum in Tokyo. I recommend it to absolutely everyone. Kids, adults, fans, even those who do not consider themselves fans. It is one of those places where you leave feeling like you have actually been inside a fairy tale. The impressions really stay with you for life. The only important thing is that you must book tickets in advance. You cannot just walk in. I have a separate video about the Harry Potter Museum in Tokyo. I will leave the link in the description if you want to know more and decide if it is right for you. Write in the comments which Harry Potter part is your favorite. Besides the museum, a new Harry Potter cafe and gift shop recently opened in Tokyo, and it is much easier to visit without booking in advance. It is an official space with merchandise and drinks designed in the Wizarding World style. Of course, they have butterbeer, the famous drink from Harry Potter, non-alcoholic with a sweet, unusual taste. I highly recommend trying it because it really does not taste like anything else. Inside the museum, there are so many details, movie references, decorations, and characters. You can even see magical creatures like a hippogriff and just spend hours there. It is a great chance to dive into the Harry Potter world even if you do not have time for the big museum. And finally, something we had almost stopped hoping for in Japan. We managed to visit the Kirby Cafe. It is one of those cafes in Tokyo that you need to book about a month in advance. The place is very impressive. The dishes look absolutely fantastic. You look at them and cannot believe they are edible. Since we are 5 people, we were given a special table. They brought almost everything at once. There is a burger. Can we turn his little face? He is sleeping. And cheese pizza. Then ice cream. Thank you so much. So beautiful. This is made from apples. Is this pudding or cake? In any case, such a beautiful dessert. Sasha already cannot wait to try his little tree. He's asking how much longer we are going to film. He wants to eat it already. To the right of the cafe there is a shop where you can buy Kirby souvenirs, plates for making your own bento. Everything is very Instagram friendly, perfect for photos. The interior, the atmosphere, the presentation, everything is made with huge attention to detail. But honestly, does this cafe make it into my personal top places in Tokyo? Probably not. Still, it is worth visiting at least once for the experience and emotions. Tokyo has many observation decks, and some of them are so heavily promoted that everyone wants to visit. Because of that, expectations do not always match reality. For example, Tokyo Skytree is definitely a cool experience and worth seeing, but you need to be ready for long lines, especially in the evening, crowds of people, and sometimes the impression can feel a bit blurred. Even small things like handprints on the windows or too many visitors can affect the overall picture. At the same time, Tokyo has other observation decks that are less promoted but just as impressive. I love places like that. In my guide, I include many similar spots that are not obvious, not overcrowded, but truly worth visiting. Places where you can calmly enjoy the view without crowds and without disappointment when reality does not match expectations. Part of our Tokyo routine is simply going somewhere to eat something delicious. Very often we choose Jojoan. We really love this place because the meat is always incredibly fresh and high quality. It is a Japanese yakiniku format, where you get thin slices of meat and grill them yourself right at the table. We came for dinner at a Japanese restaurant. Look, classic Japanese dishes. Sprouts. Cucumber salad. Glass noodles. I am not exactly sure what this is. I see cucumbers here. Something like marinated kimchi. We have visited teamLab Museum several times as a family. It is a Japanese art collective creating digital interactive museums across the country. One of our favorites is teamLab Planets in Tokyo, located in Toyosu. It is one of those places you should see at least once. In short, it is a museum from the future. Light, space, mirrors, water, everything is designed so that you literally become part of the installation. You need to be ready that it is one of the most popular places in Tokyo. Especially on weekends and holidays, there can be very long lines at the entrance. Tickets must be bought in advance, at least a few days, better a few weeks before. Important detail: you take off your shoes because in one part you will literally walk in water. I strongly recommend not wearing skirts because the floor is made of glass, and not tight jeans either. Choose comfortable clothes and pants you can roll up to your knees. There is a hole where you catch animals using a special app. Every time a fish disappears, it means someone caught it with the app. But I will not reveal everything. I have a separate video comparing teamLab Planets and teamLab Borderless in detail. If you want to understand which one suits you better and what to expect, I will leave the link in the description. This is what Japan can look like in everyday life. Strange, unusual, convenient, and sometimes contradictory. Thank you so much, arigato, for watching until the end. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and see you very soon in new videos.